She is the CEO and founder of Decorum, and she has regaled our studio with several product samples. Really cool stuff. Jennifer, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Greg. Great to see you, Jonathan, and so terrific to see you, Steve. Thanks so much for having me.
Oh, you're welcome.
Jennifer, tell our listeners, if you will, and we joked about this before we came on the air, that this is radio and not television, so you're going to have to be very graphic, which I'm sure won't be an issue for you, but tell our listeners about the wonderful products that we see before us.
Absolutely. This is a line of decorative home accessories. They are, actually, there are two sides of the line. The one that I brought samples here of, and they can be seen on decorumstyle.com. They are a line of decorative trays, ice buckets, and coasters that are actually made with fabric. They are terrific, as an addition for anyone's home. Great use of interior design fabrics. And the way that they're made is through a lacquer coating process that kind of heat seals and hardens and solidifies the fabric, so you can actually have a little pop of that in the home. And then an additional aspect of my business is a memo board line, which is sort of what dresses up the old standard cork board in your kitchen or office. With great fabrics and that sort of thing.
So really cool stuff, and suffice it to say that, as you mentioned, these are decorative in nature.
Mm-hmm.
There are probably conversation pieces.
Absolutely. Decorative,
starters.
Although actually what we didn't mention before is that they're actually truly functional. They're useful for serving and that sort of thing and for a decorative purpose, but they can be, they sort of have a purpose rather than just a showpiece. Which is what I love about everything that's in the Decorum line.
And talk to us about their durability. How would you clean them? How can they be used either with hot liquids, cold liquids?
Absolutely. Great
stuff of that ilk.
They are food safe, which is terrific. However, we recommend keeping them away from, really submerging them with water or maybe like a very creamy kinds of, cheese or something like that if you were to use it with food. And avoid cutting them because of the seal. You wouldn't want to break the seal. But they can withstand a little bit of moisture, but at the same time, they're best, if
so don't submerge.
So you'd kind of wipe clean.
You'd wipe them off. You wouldn't put them in the dishwasher.
Absolutely, or microwave. Yeah, absolutely.
Not unless you wanted melted fabric all over.
Right.
the place.
Exactly. Yeah. In fact, you could get to the fabric that way, but that's not the easiest thing to do.
So your background is quite varied and quite interesting, and you spent some time in the interior design field.
And I presently am still in that.
Well, I
field.
guess you are. And so where did the product idea come from?
Well, it's funny. My background is actually in advertising and marketing. I was in several roles with Hill Holliday and McCann Arts in Boston and New York in advertising, and then I worked with
little agencies.
Absolutely. So, and then with a company that was based in Paris called Graphique de France, which produces a beautiful line of art cards, posters, and prints, which you guys have probably seen, and maybe didn't even realize that those were, made by that company. But essentially, I've always sort of surrounded myself with the creative process, which is what I love, but on the business side of it. And so that is a way for me to marry together, both of those interests. When I switched gears to go into interior design, I was able to parlay a lot of that work, and a lot of it was brand development. Ways that I, worked with building brands like Top Flight Golf, Lipton Foods. We work with a lot of Unilever companies. And I learned, great things about research and, all the knowledge that goes into all that stuff that's sitting on the shelves that, whether it's good for you or not, we won't go into that. But so that with my love of interior design and love of designer textiles and the art that really exists on them, it was a terrific combination of a way to bring all of that together.